Welcome to the Sacred Knock Podcast, where the divine speaks and the heart listens. There's a knock, a sacred one. You may not hear it with your ears, but your soul knows it well. I'm your host, Coach Michael Taylor, and I'm inviting you into a sacred space of spiritual awakening, divine insight, and conversations that remind you of who you really are. So, open the door and let your soul receive the wisdom it's been waiting for. Welcome to the Sacred Knock Podcast. Welcome to the Sacred Knock Podcast, where divine wisdom speaks and the heart listens. I'm your host, Coach Michael Taylor, and today I want to introduce you to a book that left a lasting imprint on my soul. A book that offered me not just insight, but language for things I had felt for years, but never quite put into words. That book is The Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukav. Now, if you've never heard of this book, let me just say, it's not the kind of book you read once and move on from. It's the kind of book that speaks to the deepest part of you, your soul, and it gently yet powerfully invites you to evolve. And there were two chapters in particular that transformed how I live my life, and today I want to share them with you. First, there was a chapter called The Evolution from Five Sensory to Multi-Sensory Beings. Zukav shared that humanity is undergoing a massive transformation. We are shifting from being five-sensory beings to what he calls multi-sensory beings. So, what does that mean? It means we're no longer limited to what we can see, hear, taste, touch, or smell. We're awakening to the subtle dimensions. We're beginning to perceive energy, to sense intention, to read vibration, to feel truth beyond logic. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the tension without anyone saying a word? Have you ever met someone and instantly sensed whether you could trust them or not? That's your multi-sensory awareness. It's not woo-woo, it's real. It's part of your spiritual evolution. And we're beginning to operate from soul perception, not just physical perception. And that is a game changer. Because once you realize you are more than your body, you stop making decisions from fear and start choosing from the wisdom of your soul. The second thing that I learned was the power of reverence. And the other chapter that moved me deeply was that chapter on reverence. He describes reverence as a deep spiritual respect for life in all its forms. Not just for people you agree with, not just for things that bring you joy, but for the sacredness of everything. Reverence means seeing the divine in a tree, in a stranger, in a moment of stillness, in your own pain. Reverence is spiritual maturity in action, because when you live with reverence, you don't just go through life, you honor it. You begin to treat every experience as holy. Every breath is a gift, every relationship as a mirror, and every challenge as a teacher. Zukav writes, reverence is engaging in a form and a depth of contact with life that is well beyond the shell of the form and into the essence. That to me is what the Sacred Knock is really about. It's not about adding more knowledge. It's about peeling back the layers and returning to the reverence of the soul. So here's your sacred invitation for the day. Are you becoming more multisensory? Do you allow yourself to feel energy, vibration, intuition? And do you honor those nudges, or do you still doubt them? And here's a journal prompt for you. Where in my life am I being called to move from control to reverence? It could be in how you relate to your body. It could be how you listen to your intuition, or how you engage with others, or how you relate to the divine itself. Because the truth is, when we live from reverence, we begin to see the face of God in everything. So, thanks for joining me on this episode of the Sacred Knock podcast. And if you've never read The Seat of the Soul, I highly encourage you to pick up a copy. It's one of those books that will meet you wherever you are and take you deeper. And as always, if this episode resonates with you, share it, subscribe, leave a comment. And remember, your voice always helps us spread this sacred message even further. So until next time, stay awake, stay intuitive, and stay sacred. I'll see you next episode. Take care. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Sacred Knock podcast. We hope this episode has inspired you to listen more closely to the whispers of your soul. If this message moved you, why not share it with someone you love? Because you never know who's waiting to hear their own sacred knock. And if you'd like to dive deeper and download the free ebook, When God Knocks, 5 Divine Reminders to Reignite Your Soul, simply log on to www.knockknockbook.net to download your free gift today. Until next time, stay open, stay tuned in, and always remember, the divine is already within you.